Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins All World, where we explore some of the most rare and valuable coins in existence. Coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. If you're into coin collecting or you just happen to have a 1971 quarter dollar lying around in your drawer, then you are in for a treat today. We're talking about a coin that, at first glance, may look like just any other quarter dollar from the early 70s, but there's something about the 1971 US quarter dollar that makes it worth far more than its face value. In fact, this quarter could potentially be worth thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. Stick with us until the end, because we'll reveal exactly how much a 1971 quarter dollar is worth, and trust me, the number will surprise you. Let's get into it. Before we jump into the value of this coin, let's take a step back and explore a bit of its history. The 1971 US quarter dollar is a coin from the Washington Quarter series, which has been a key part of US currency for over 80 years. This quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, who served as the first president of the United States, and is a symbol of freedom, honor, and integrity. The 1971 quarter was issued as part of the regular circulating series and, like other quarters from this time, was produced by the US Mint for general circulation. However, while most 1971 quarters were spent quickly and went through the daily grind of commerce, some special ones have become highly sought after by collectors due to unique features, rare errors, and even the minting process. So, what makes the 1971 quarter stand out in the world of numismatics? Let's take a closer look at the design. Obverse on the front of the coin, we see a bust of George Washington, designed by artist John Flanagan. Washington's portrait has been the centerpiece of the quarter since 1932, and it's instantly recognizable. Surrounding Washington's image, you'll find the words, Liberty, the phrase, In God We Trust, and the date, 1971. It's a design that has remained almost unchanged for decades and speaks to the rich history of the United States. The reverse of the 1971 quarter features the iconic eagle, which has been used on US coins for centuries. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. The eagle's wings spread across the coin, representing the nation's freedom and protection. One key feature of this design is the mint mark. If you have a 1971 quarter, it's important to check whether there's a mint mark on the coin. This will help determine its rarity and potential value. When it comes to coins, mint marks can make a huge difference in value. The 1971 quarter was produced at 3 U.S. Mint locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and each location has its own unique mint mark. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark quarters produced at the Philadelphia Mint in 1971 typically do not have a mint mark, making these the most common type of quarter from this year. While these coins are still collectible, they're generally not as rare as coins from the Denver or San Francisco mints. However, if you find one in mint condition, it could still hold some value for collectors. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. Denver quarters tend to be somewhat rarer than their Philadelphia counterparts, and if you happen to find a 1971 Denver quarter that's in excellent condition or has a special feature, like a minting error, it could be worth more than you think. San Francisco Mint. S mint mark. The S mint mark on a 1971 quarter signifies that it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. While the San Francisco Mint is more famous for producing proof coins, it did strike some regular quarters for circulation as well. Proof coins from San Francisco are generally higher quality coins that were made for collectors, and these coins can be significantly rarer than regular circulation coins. But what really makes some 1971 quarters worth thousands of dollars is not just the mint or the design, it's the errors that occurred during the minting process. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. These mistakes that happen during production can drastically increase the value of a coin, and the 1971 quarter is no exception. So, what kind of errors should you be looking for? Double die errors. A double die error occurs when the die, the metal stamp used to create the coin's design, is misaligned or strikes the coin twice, leaving a doubled image. This could affect the letters on the obverse, such as Liberty, or the date itself. If you find a 1971 quarter with a double die error, This could be a rare find that significantly increases the coin's value. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, leading to part of the design being cut off or shifted. A 1971 quarter with an off-center strike is a unique collectible and can be worth much more than a standard quarter. Clipped planchet errors. A clipped planchet error happens when the blank metal used to create the coin is slightly miscut before the coin is struck. This can result in a rough edge or a missing part of the design. If you find a 1971 quarter with a clipped planchet, collectors will likely be very interested, as these errors are rare and very much in demand. Die cracks. Die cracks are small cracks that form on the die over time, causing a mark or line to appear on the coin. These can happen anywhere on the design and can make a coin more interesting for collectors. If you find a 1971 quarter with a noticeable die crack, it could be a special variation that adds value. Mint marks. If the mint mark is struck multiple times, it can result in a mint mark. This happens when the mint staff accidentally restamps the same area multiple times, causing the mint mark to appear doubled or misaligned. A 1971 quarter with a mint mark is a rare find and could be worth more than a regular mint-marked quarter. Now, the big question: how much could your 1971 quarter be worth? Well, here's the answer. While most 1971 quarters are worth only 25 cents, coins with the right condition, minting error, or special features can fetch much higher prices. If you happen to have a 1971 quarter that's in uncirculated condition, has a rare minting error, or came from one of the more rare mints like San Francisco, it could be worth a lot more. And the surprise reveal? A 1971 quarter with a rare error or in perfect uncirculated condition could be worth an astounding $40,000. Yes, that's right, $40,000 for a 1971 quarter. Who knew that a coin worth just 25 cents could end up being worth so much? So, if you've got a 1971 quarter in your collection, or you come across one in your spare change, be sure to give it a closer look. If it's in great condition or has any of those rare minting errors we talked about, you could be sitting on a true treasure worth $40,000. Today, we've got a very special coin to talk about, the 1982 United States quarter dollar, a seemingly ordinary quarter that could be hiding some incredible value. Now, before you dismiss it as just another coin from the 80s, let me tell you that this 1982 quarter could actually be worth a lot more than its face value. In fact, it might be worth thousands of dollars, and I'm going to explain exactly why. Stick around until the end, because we'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth today. So, grab your magnifying glass, because this coin might just have some hidden treasure you didn't know about. Let's get started. First, let's talk a little bit about the history behind the 1982 quarter. This coin was issued as part of the ongoing Washington Quarter series, a series that has been in circulation since 1932. The Washington Quarter features the portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, and has become one of the most recognizable and enduring designs in U.S. coinage. By the time the 1982 quarter was released, the U.S. economy was in a period of transition. The country was coming out of a recession, and the dollar had begun to experience inflation. During the early 80s, there were also shifts in the minting process as the U.S. Mint made adjustments to production to meet growing demand. This means that the 1982 quarter is a snapshot of the early 80s and the economic climate at that time. While the 1982 quarter was produced in large quantities, it holds special significance for coin collectors due to certain rarities and errors that occurred during its minting. So let's take a closer look at the coin itself, what makes it stand out, and how certain features can significantly increase its value. Now let's talk about the design of the 1982 quarter. After all, it's more than just a coin, it's a piece of American history. The 1982 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, which has had the same basic design since 1932. Here's a breakdown of what you'll find on the coin. The front of the quarter features the portrait of George Washington, designed by artist John Flanagan. Washington is depicted in profile, and you can see the words "Liberty" and the phrase "In God We Trust" along the top and side of the coin. Below Washington's portrait is the year 1982, marking the year the coin was minted. This design has remained relatively unchanged since 1932, making it one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage. On the reverse side, you'll see an eagle, which has been a symbol of strength, freedom, and power for centuries. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows, holding an olive branch in its talons. The words United States of America and E pluribus unum surround the eagle, and at the bottom, you'll see the denomination, $quarter. This design reflects the country's values of freedom, peace, and strength. Mint mark. The mint mark is another important factor in determining the rarity and value of the coin. The 1982 quarter was struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, and each mint has its own distinct mint mark. Quarters from these different mints can vary in rarity and value, depending on the demand and minting processes at the time. Now, let's dive into what can make a 1982 quarter truly stand out in the world of collectors. Point 1. Of the key aspects of coin collecting is understanding the importance of mint marks. Mint marks tell you where the coin was produced, and this can greatly affect its value. Let's look at the three mints where the 1982 quarter was struck. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint quarters from 1982 are the most common and typically don't have a mint mark. These coins were produced in large quantities, and unless they are in excellent, uncirculated condition or feature a rare minting error, their value is usually close to face value. However, quarters in top condition or those that have been well preserved can still be valuable to collectors. Denver Mint. D mint mark. The Denver Mint is known for producing coins with slightly sharper details. A 1982 quarter with the D mint mark might be slightly rarer than the Philadelphia version, especially if it's in uncirculated or proof condition. These quarters can be worth more than their face value, especially if they are well preserved. San Francisco Mint. S mint mark. The S mint mark indicates that the quarter was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which primarily produces proof coins for collectors. 1982 quarters from San Francisco are highly sought after by collectors, especially if they were part of a proof set. Proof coins have a mirror-like finish and are carefully produced, making them significantly rarer and more valuable than typical circulation coins. But mint marks aren't the only thing that determines the value of a 1982 quarter. Sometimes, minting errors occur, and those can make a coin worth far more than its face value. Let's talk about some of the most exciting minting errors that can drastically increase the value of your coin. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the discovery of minting errors, those accidental imperfections that make certain coins extremely valuable. If you happen to find a 1982 quarter with one of these errors, you could be holding something worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Here are some of the most valuable minting errors to look out for. Double die errors. A double die error happens when the coin is struck twice by the die, leaving a doubled image. This is often most noticeable in the letters or numbers, such as the word Liberty or the year 1982. A 1982 quarter with a double die error is a rare find, and collectors will pay a premium for this unique error. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be shifted or missing. If you have a 1982 quarter that's off-center, it's worth more than a regular coin due to its unique look and rarity. Clipped planchet errors. A clipped planchet occurs when the metal blank used to strike the coin is improperly cut before it's struck by the die. This results in a coin with a clipped edge. A 1982 quarter with a clipped planchet is a highly sought-after error and can command a much higher price from collectors. Die cracks. A die crack happens when the die used to strike the coin cracks, leaving a line or mark on the coin. These cracks can appear anywhere on the coin and make it more collectible. A 1982 quarter with a noticeable die crack can be worth more than an ordinary quarter. Mint marks. A mint mark occurs when the mint mark is struck multiple times, creating a doubled or misaligned mint mark. If you find a 1982 quarter with a mint mark, collectors will consider it a rare variant, which can increase its value significantly. So, how much is a 1982 quarter really worth? Well, the value can vary depending on its condition, mint mark, and any minting errors. A typical 1982 quarter in circulated condition is worth just 25 cents, but if you happen to have one in uncirculated condition or with a rare error, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of US coinage and the moment you've all been waiting for. The value of a 1982 quarter with a rare error or in mint condition could be worth an incredible $45,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 1982 quarter could be worth $45,000 if it has the right condition or error. Can you believe that? A quarter worth $45,000? It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest coins can hold the greatest value. So, the next time you're digging through your coin jar or find a 1982 quarter in your pocket change, be sure to give it a second glance. It might just be a hidden gem worth $45,000. Today, we've got a true gem for you, the 1983 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter from the early 80s, but this coin has an interesting backstory and could actually be worth a lot more than you think. That's right. If you've got one of these in your collection, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Stick around until the end, and we'll reveal exactly how much this 1983 quarter is worth today, and trust me, the number is going to shock you. So, let's dive in and uncover why the 1983 quarter dollar might just be worth a lot more than you expect. To fully appreciate the 1983 quarter dollar, we need to take a quick look at the history surrounding it. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, featuring a profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the years, the design has become iconic, representing freedom, unity, and the American spirit. By the time 1983 rolled around, the U.S. Mint was in the middle of a fascinating period of economic change. The country was moving out of the 1970s recession, and inflation was starting to become a bigger concern for the U.S. economy. During this period, coin production shifted, and the U.S. Mint was working to meet growing demand. This means that many coins, including the 1983 quarter, were produced in vast quantities. However, while most of these coins were distributed for circulation, some quarters from this year have become highly coveted by collectors due to rarities, errors, and subtle variations in minting that can make them far more valuable than a regular quarter. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1983 quarter and what makes it stand out. Like all Washington quarters, it features the portrait of George Washington on the obverse side. But there are some unique aspects to this coin that are worth noting. The obverse of the 1983 quarter features the familiar profile of George Washington, designed by artist John Flanagan. Around Washington's portrait are the words, "Liberty," at the top, the phrase, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the year, 1983, at the bottom. Washington's likeness remains almost unchanged since the coin's introduction in 1932, symbolizing the enduring strength and unity of the United States. On the reverse of the coin, you'll find the eagle, perched on a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. This symbolizes the U.S.'s strength, peace, and readiness to defend its freedom. The reverse also includes the words, "United States of America," the motto, "E pluribus unum," and the denomination, quarter dollar. Now, while the design itself has remained consistent, what really makes a 1983 quarter stand out is its mint mark and any potential minting errors. And that's where things get interesting. You see, the mint mark on a coin tells you where it was produced. For the 1983 quarter, there are 3 possible mint marks that can be found on the reverse side of the coin: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck many of the 1983 quarters, and these coins typically do not have a mint mark. These coins are the most common and are not considered particularly rare, unless, of course, they happen to be in uncirculated condition or feature a minting error. In that case, the coin could still hold more value than expected. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The Denver Mint quarters, marked with a D, tend to be slightly rarer than the Philadelphia coins, though still not exceedingly rare. As with the Philadelphia version, a high-quality, uncirculated 1983 Denver quarter or one with an error could fetch a higher price, especially if it's in perfect condition. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint quarters, marked with an S, were produced mainly for proof coin sets intended for collectors. These coins were carefully struck with higher quality and finer details than those meant for general circulation, making them rarer and more valuable. If you happen to have a proof like 1983 quarter from the San Francisco Mint, you might have something worth more than just face value. What makes a 1983 quarter dollar especially valuable are the minting errors that occasionally occurred during production. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the striking process, leading to unique and one-of-a-kind coins. These errors can greatly increase the value of the coin, sometimes even making it worth thousands of dollars. Here are some of the most common minting errors to watch for. Double die errors. A double die error happens when the die that stamps the coin strikes it more than once, leaving a doubled image on the coin. For a 1983 quarter, this could happen to the letters or the date, such as Liberty or 1983. A double die error is extremely rare and highly desirable among collectors. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not aligned properly in the press, resulting in part of the design being cut off or shifted. An off-center 1983 quarter is a unique collectible and could fetch a premium price due to its irregular appearance. Clipped planchet errors. A clipped planchet error happens when the metal blank used to strike the coin is slightly miscut, leading to a clipped or ragged edge. These errors are relatively rare, and if you happen to find a 1983 quarter with a clipped planchet, you could have a valuable piece on your hands. Mint marks. If the mint mark is struck more than once, it can result in a mint mark error. This happens when the mint accidentally restamps the D or S mint mark, causing it to appear doubled or misaligned. If you come across a 1983 quarter with a mint mark, you could be looking at a rare error that commands a premium. Die cracks and breaks. Die cracks or die breaks happen when the die used to strike the coin develops a crack or break, which can leave a mark or line on the coin's surface. These marks can add character and uniqueness to the coin, and in some cases, they can increase its value to collectors. So, how much could your 1983 quarter be worth? Well, it all depends on the condition, mint mark, and whether there are any minting errors. While the 1983 quarter in normal circulated condition is still worth just 25 cents, a high-quality coin or one with a minting error can increase the value dramatically. If you happen to have a 1983 quarter in uncirculated condition, or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth an impressive $48,000. That's right, $48,000 for a 1983 quarter. It's amazing how something so small can hold such incredible value, especially if it has the right features. So, the next time you find a 1983 quarter in your pocket change or go digging through your coin collection, remember to give it a close inspection. If it's in mint condition or has any of the rare minting errors we discussed, you could be holding a coin worth $48,000. Today, we're diving into a hidden treasure that you might have in your collection or even in your pocket change, a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. That's right, we're talking about the 1986 United States quarter dollar. You might be thinking, a 1986 quarter? How valuable could that possibly be? Well, trust me, this quarter might be worth way more than you expect. Whether you're an experienced collector or just getting into the hobby, you'll want to stick around until the end of this video to find out exactly how much this 1986 quarter could be worth in today's market. So, let's jump right into it and explore the fascinating details behind the 1986 quarter dollar, its history, design, and the unique factors that make this coin incredibly valuable. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1986 quarter, let's take a moment to look at the history of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, and it remains one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in U.S. history. Featuring the profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States, this coin represents the core ideals of freedom, unity, and strength. By 1986, the United States had gone through decades of change, from the Great Depression to economic booms and busts. The year 1986 was significant in American history. It marked a time of economic recovery and global influence, following a period of inflation and monetary shifts in the 1970s. The 1986 quarter was struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, and like all quarters from this period, it was primarily produced for general circulation. But while these coins were produced in large numbers, certain rarities, minting errors, and special conditions can make a 1986 quarter much more valuable than the usual 25 cents. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1986 Washington quarter. After all, it's not just a coin, it's a piece of American history. The front of the 1986 quarter features the portrait of George Washington. This image was designed by John Flanagan and has remained largely unchanged since the coin's debut in 1932. Surrounding Washington's portrait are the words "Liberty" at the top, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the year 1986 at the bottom. This design symbolizes Washington's legacy as a founding father and the enduring strength of the United States. On the reverse of the coin, you'll find the eagle, which has been a symbol of power, freedom, and vigilance for centuries. The eagle is depicted perched on a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, signifying the country's readiness to defend its freedom while also desiring peace. The reverse also includes the words "United States of America," the motto "E pluribus unum," and the denomination $quarter. Although the design has remained remarkably consistent since 1932, what makes the 1986 quarter particularly interesting is the presence of mint marks and certain errors that can dramatically increase its value, so let's dive into that now. The mint mark on a coin is one of the most important aspects when determining its rarity and value. The 1986 quarter was struck at 3 different U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these mints has its own unique characteristics, and they all produce coins with different levels of rarity and value. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck many of the 1986 quarters, and these coins typically don't have a mint mark. While these are generally the most common quarters from this year, uncirculated or well-preserved coins can still fetch a higher price from collectors, especially if they are free from scratches or other signs of wear. Denver Mint. D mint mark. The Denver Mint quarters, marked with the D mint mark, are somewhat rarer than the Philadelphia coins, but they aren't particularly scarce on their own. However, high-quality examples of the 1986 Denver quarter, especially in mint state or proof-like condition, can be worth more than face value. San Francisco Mint. S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins in 1986. These coins were made with a higher level of care and are often struck with a mirror-like finish. If you have a 1986 quarter with the S mint mark, it could be part of a proof set, and as a result, it could be worth more to collectors who value proof-quality coins. The San Francisco Mint mark makes this quarter especially desirable for proof collectors. One of the most exciting parts of coin collecting is discovering rare minting errors, those happy accidents during the production process that create coins with unique characteristics. A 1986 quarter with one of these minting errors could be worth substantially more than a regular coin. Here are a few minting errors to look out for. Double die errors. A double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once by the die, leading to doubled images on the coin. This can often be seen on the date, 1986, or on parts of the letters like Liberty. A double die error is extremely rare and can make a 1986 quarter worth thousands of dollars, especially if the error is noticeable and clean. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in part of the coin's design being cut off or shifted. If you have an off-center 1986 quarter, it's a unique and valuable find that's sure to catch the eye of collectors. Clipped planchet errors. A clipped planchet error happens when the blank metal used to strike the coin is improperly cut before it's struck by the die. This results in a clipped or irregular edge. A 1986 quarter with a clipped planchet is much rarer than a standard quarter and could be worth significantly more. Mint marks. A mint mark happens when the mint mark is struck more than once, creating a doubled or misaligned mint mark. If your 1986 quarter has a /mint mark, it's considered a minting error and will likely increase the value of your coin. Die cracks and breaks. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin develops a crack or break, and the result is a noticeable line or marking on the coin. A 1986 quarter with a die crack can be an appealing error for collectors, adding value to the coin's overall worth. Now, you're probably wondering, how much is a 1986 quarter actually worth? Well, the value of a 1986 quarter can vary depending on its mint mark, condition, and whether or not it has any minting errors. In general, a 1986 quarter in circulated condition is worth just 25 cents. However, if you find a 1986 quarter in uncirculated condition or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth much more. And here's the moment you've all been waiting for. A 1986 quarter with the right minting error or in mint condition can be worth an incredible $54,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 1986 quarter could be worth $54,000 if it has the right features. It's incredible how a coin with such a simple design could hold so much value. So, the next time you're going through your change or sorting through your coin collection, be sure to take a second look at that 1986 quarter. If it's in great condition or has one of those rare minting errors, you might just have a coin worth $54,000 in your hands.